4, 3, 2, 1, go. Hey guys, Ranchin here, Beyond of Commentary. This is going to be the first set between Effort and Light in the round of 8 of the Bigfile MSL 2010. Start things off, we're going to have it out on Polaris Rhapsody. The bottom right corner in violet, or purple, or whatever, is going to be Light. The upper left-hand corner playing as white is going to be Effort, who seems to have more hair than I'm used to seeing on his face. On his head, rather. I just now realized that there are no TVPs in the round of 8 this MSL, and that's the first time that happens in a while. Quite a few seasons. So there's not going to be any customary epic TVP in the round of 8 MSL. This is breaking a long line of tradition, so this is unfortunate, but hey, instead we have a bunch of good TVZs. I mean, come on. Effort versus Light. This is going to be awesome. Effort might not be, you know, the best ZVT around, and he's not his best matchup, but he definitely proved himself by winning the OSL last season against Flash, and Light has always been known for his absolutely magnificent versus Zerg play, so I'm really looking forward to this one. I'm saying this is definitely possible. This is going to be the series of the quarterfinals. There are so many candidates, though, because we of course have Commerce's Fantasy, and we also have Flash for GG. I think is going to be like the walkover of the quarterfinals. But we also have Jaedong versus C, which I think Jaedong is going to take, but like I think C definitely now the first time he's ever, I think, in the round of 8, he's going to give him the fight of his life. At least I'm hoping he does. Both players, of course. A lot of the players here won't have much else to do other than focus on Star Leagues. Let's see. Does it look like Barracks right now coming up as a drone scout comes up from Effort's base? Light does seem like he's going to be thinking of going for a 1-Rex in an Expo build. Kind of what he likes to do. It's pretty standard play from him. Just get one SCV off the line so he can kind of try to force that drone away. Drone might actually macro manage to pick up that SCV. No! Oh, nice micro there from Light. Barely getting that. And the drone, meanwhile, just, kind of spinning around right now, regenerating a lot of it so that the SCV can't kill him. Another SCV going to be forced to come off the line. Got to start repairing it. So that's going to be it. The drone's not going to be too big of a threat anymore. Going to try to force a cancel on the barriers, but altogether not successful. They're just getting a full scout, spotting what's going on, spotting the lack of a gas. So at the very least, Effort knows, hey, no early vulture. I'm safe in going for the 12 hatch. I'm going for. I'm okay, getting my spawning pool going. Everything's okay. I'm not going to be facing any early aggression. Second Rax was nowhere to be seen. No, not coming up. So I can feel safe in knowing that there's not going to be any crazy stuff coming at me right away. Well, Light will probably just produce some stuff and soon enough put down a command center. Nice, interesting enough. Production hatch will be put down by Effort outside of his natural expo. I think it's just to give him a little bit more creep to work with and to kind of form a smaller choke. So he's working off SimCity right off the bat, thinking what he can do. Maybe blockade. Commencer is in there for Light already on the way. So this does look like we're going to be seeing some fairly standard stuff. Effort might be going for 3-hatch Muta here. Very, very standard, really. 3-hatch Muta and then transitioning into Lurkers. Very standard Zerg versus Terran play. I heard some the other day somebody commented that they love TVZ because there's a lot of different things, a lot of different builds that each player can go through. And yes, that's true. There's in every matchup, for the most part, aside from maybe mirrors in certain cases, in every matchup there's a huge plethora, or plethora, is that how it's pronounced? Yeah, plethora or plethora of, somebody will tell me how it's pronounced, but yeah, huge number of different builds you can go for. But unfortunately, players kind of stick it to one build when they work. When a build works, they just stick to it. So for Terrans, 1-Rax into Expo works. For a Zerg, 3-hatch Muta or 2-hatch Muta into Lurker, and into mass expanding works. It works. I mean, sure, it's kind of, even Steven, sometimes the Terran fight Zerg back. It wasn't like it was earlier on where Terrans were just killing everything with this, but now Zerg are fighting back. And it's kind of, even Steven, both players has a decent chance to win the game. Just depends on control, depends on how they manage to fight with it, depends on what they manage to do. So that's what happens. Oh, Overlord. Oh, yeah, Light does spot the Overlord. One Overlord out in the open. And that Overlord's unfortunately going to get sacrificed. That's probably, nope, not going to be able to run past those cliffs. So nice early little win here from Light, if you could say. Getting that Overlord Effort trying to get a scout around the middle, but just risking his Overlord a little bit too much. Zergling's also not running around. for effort, so he has some defense back home. A little like his little placement of hatcheries also means that he can kind of produce from both of those and reinforce just a little bit faster, and also have a large troop right back home. He's being pushed all the way. It could open him up to some risks, and that he won't really be able to utilize forces from that larvae, but from the hatchery. But we're going to see how it evolves and what exactly happens. Speed already up there, full effort, so he's going to be running out with his Zerglings, trying to go for run by, but Light had all of his Marines on the ramp. Might want to be going for a bunker also to help himself, get himself some additional defenses. No bunker. I think that was actually a CV coming off the line, maybe to build the bunker, just not getting his comp station. Stim should have already hit as he has those medics out there. Got to be working on range. And we're just going to be seeing him following this up with fairly standard play, going, getting eBay, getting ready for those Mutalisks, and effort being very much effort. Actually forcing Light to go in for those couple of Firebats just to be safe, because effort really, really likes his Zergling play. He's really good with run-bys with the Zerglings. Really likes to have Zerglings around. Light actually going to just plant 2 Firebats on the ramp just to make sure they can defend any Zerglings come up. Those Firebats, as long as controlled, as long as you pay attention to them, and if they get some medic support, they're going to be able to kill anything that happens. I think the one Zergling actually snuck in there into the minerals of Natural Expo and killed by SCVs. But Light actually just going to move across the map, trying to focus down those sunken colonies. If a Terran does not push across the map and force a Zerg player to put down sunken colonies, that's just extra economy that the Zerg player can go for. That's just extra troops he can go for. A hatchery he can put down somewhere, trying to catch Light in the bridge. Light smartly leading some of his troops behind to make sure he can take a few shots. They're actually going to go for this at the front. Only one sunken colony. Effort going to get his Zerglings in. The Light might get a little bit of early damage done if he actually manages to do something. I don't think actually that's going to happen. Now look at those Mutalisks out there. Marines going to try to take a few shots on those Mutalisks. Firebat's going to go in here, try to do a little bit of damage, but I think this attack is doomed. Managed to take out some frontal defenses, pick off all those Zerglings. Firebat trying to get into the drone line to pick up a few. I think he only managed one single drone kill though, and these units here are going to die. Light, I think, actually should have split up his forces the second I saw those Mutalisks. Maybe try to distract the Mutalisks a little bit with his Marines rather than trying to get some insane control going. Should have known from the start. He was trying, I think, more to delay. That's why he was just not sacrificing, trying to get some drone kills. Has the turrets coming up, has a bunker at the front. Not the best of defensive positions, though. Doesn't have that troop anymore that he needed to work with. Has one more troop there at the front. Has the bunker critical factor. No turrets in here. Mutal is going to come in with those Zerglings. Bunker being damaged heavily. Finally, a few SCVs coming to the line to repair it, though. So despite some heavy losses early on, Light managed to get back in to hold the defense at the front, getting some more turrets up, and the longer he can delay effort right now, the better. Has some turrets here at the back to help him defend himself, trying to get a second turret there at that high ground just to be able to defend himself. One turret being built and repaired, and Muto is going to go in there. The turret is going to get taken down. Zergling's trying to take out every single turret they can, but they are being rebuilt and repaired, so Light is, on top of this, knows what's going on, knows what needs to get done. Effort is smartly enough taking the opportunity to expand at the upper right-hand position, putting all on that pressure. There's no way he's going to feel threatened, so very good move from him. Going for a quick Queen's Nest, so going to try to get the followers out there, I believe, and work on some lurkers as well. Might transition into Guardian play. I've seen effort do that before, transition to some Guardians, but overall find Guardians are very risky play for a Zerg player because they can get scouted, and if they get scouted, you're in a lot of trouble because with enough time, any turn player will counter it with Raids. Mutalisks meanwhile going to get into the main. No turrets in here. Going to start, having SCVs for breakfast. Going to be forced back for too much, but just trying to fly around as much as they can. Now going to go into the natural on the left side, finding a lot of holes in the Light's defense. Is also that little hole if you get the Mutalisks right behind the main. You can manage to do a lot of damage, losing a Mutalisk as he flies up, but still nice, a little bit of damage done, nice, a little bit of harassment. And you all see some Hydras out there for effort. He gets his hive going, so he's going to have some lurkers and defallers working out there. Meanwhile, now Light's going to have to continue working on his tech. Did have his factory coming down, so he should be working on his starport at that moment to get this science facility going, because you really need those science vessels. Never mind the fact that you have a lot of Mutalisks out there, and really necessary for that. Few Zerglings, meanwhile, going to get in 5 Zerglings, going to be able to safely run up the ramp, but I think that our forces in there should be able to snuff that out before too much happens. Yeah, that's not going to be too big of a problem. Meanwhile, we see those Mutalisks engaging a few of those Medic Marines, and Light has to be very careful. It does have weapons 1, and it has range and all that, but his grouping is rather small. So at the very least, effort managing to get some medic kills. The 3 medics in there, one was coming to reinforce, and that's going to take it out 2 creep colony. I'm talking too fast. 2 creep colonies going to be put down the upper right-hand corner, so Effort's going to just consolidate his defenses. But Light, with no sunken at the front here at the natural, just going to be able to waltz an SCV in here, spot everything out. Oh, look, there's a hive coming up, and there's a den in there, and should be lurkers somewhere around the map, and the Defiler's on the way, so Light's thinking, hey, I might want to start thinking about doing something about this very, very soon. Now, the natural expansion right now is actually the vulnerable spot, because no sunken colonies. There are lurkers there, though. So Light pretty much has to decide whether he tries to go for some quick attack. He can't really go too much. Nice! Picking off a few Mutalisks in there. But I don't really think he can go for this position, because he doesn't have any sciences out there. I'm wondering when this is actually going to go. Yeah, he's going to go tank, not pure SK. But is working on his science right now. He can't push this until he gets that going. But Effort can't really push out either. He's meanwhile going to allow himself the time to put down some sunken colonies to consolidate his defenses here. But he can't really push out with his Mutalisks and his Zergings. He instead wants the turn play to move into him. He is going to push out right now with the Lurkers, and the Lurkers from right side. Could be a nice pinch of movement. Light going to be in a little bit of trouble. Going to be forced to retreat all the way to the breach. I'm not quite sure. He's not going to be able to do much with this. Blockade a little bit at the end, but they're going to lose every single one of his forces. Nice attack from Effort. Wet it from reinforcements. Got lurkers from the right side, from this upper right-hand base as well. Greater Spire and Defiler Mound. So we are going to be seeing some Defilers alongside some Guardians coming into play. Nidus Canal is already being worked on. So Light has his work cut out for him. Might want to think about expanding towards the 6 o'clock position, adding an additional... Ooh, 2 more factories going to be added in. So wondering whether it's just going to transition into some Vulture play. Has an armory out there coming up as well. So... wondering exactly, might be going for some Goliaths. Actually, if he's scouted that Greater Spire, if he scanned that main, just, to make sure nothing funky was going on, might be happening. Drone gonna go into their 9 o'clock position for Effort. Gonna get denied by a single SCV, like, I read your mind. You can do what you want. Effort, though, he's going for very high tech here, so he might want to think about expanding. 6 o'clock position is a mineral-only base, so definitely understand his want for additional gas. Meanwhile, Light's going to take the inside 3 o'clock rather than the 6 o'clock, just so he can easily transition into the 3 o'clock position, get that gas easier.